Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So this video was made possible by the EA Game Changers program. So this one's gonna be more specifically like a review kind of, me talking about all the sections of this game pack. So we have Create a Sim, Build Buy, and the gameplay. So starting off with Create a Sim, I don't really have too many bad things to say about it. I mean, there's always some questionable pieces when it comes to any pack that comes out, but for the most part, I pretty much enjoyed everything about it. Now, the only thing I will say is, once again, I think I mentioned this in my cast video that I made for this pack, that males end up always getting the short end of the stick, which really does suck to see that no matter what pack comes out, they just don't seem to give an equal amount to the males. And it's just, like, I don't know why they decide to do that. Maybe they just assume that there's not as many like outfits you can do for males or whatever. I don't know, but there's definitely plenty out there. I mean, look at fashion, look at everything. Like, there's other hairstyles you can do. I'm not extremely upset about the hairs. I mean, I would have preferred a different hair than that shaggy hair. I didn't necessarily mind the receding hairline hair either, but regardless of the fact, I just like to see other options. While we're on the topic of hair, I wanted to say that I'm glad that they converted two of the hairs. I only featured one of them. I completely forgot to show the shaggy hair that the males got for kids, but I just wish that they would normalize doing conversions for all the hairs they make for adults to kids and to toddlers. I mean, maybe some of them might not work for toddlers, but for the most part, like, I feel like the hair that Willow is wearing here could have worked for toddlers, just like a smaller little bun or something. I mean, they've done conversions in the past where they've made some of the university hairs base game for toddlers, so I'm hoping that maybe in the future that they'll consider doing that more so. Now, we did get some stuff for kids and for toddlers in this pack, so I'm not entirely upset. It feels like a lot of the time they do get forgotten, so I'm happy that they at least got a few items in this pack. I do have a bone to pick. I'm really not a fan of these locked items. I know that there are ones that get unlocked with the career and stuff, but I just hate the fact that I can't use it. I'm sure there's like a cheat or something that I could use in order to do that. Lastly, I wanted to mention that one of the pairs of jeans with the flannel around the waist looks like a pair from Parenthood, and although I think these ones look better, the flannel itself is like exactly the same. And also, like, the waistline is the same. They like changed the button, but everything else is pretty much the same, just a skinny jean instead. As far as the other part of Create a Sim, we didn't get any new traits, we didn't get any new aspirations. The only new thing we got was a section for decor in the likes and dislikes part. So there's different decor styles you can choose from that your Sims can like or dislike. So now moving on to the build and buy portion of the pack, which I might have to add that this is probably the best part of the pack itself. So as a Create a Sim fan, I still do like the Create a Sim. If I was to tier each section of the pack, it'd be build and buy first, Create a Sim second, gameplay third. So for a pack type that is labeled as a game pack, you know, you would think that gameplay would be first, but this is of course also my opinion, so take it for what you will. But yeah. Anyways, the modular pieces are really nice. No, but for real, I do really love the modular pieces and how you can basically create new pieces of furniture with it. Like, the possibilities are basically endless because there is just so many of them. And not to mention all the clutter items to kind of fill in spaces, and even being able to make like walk-in closets or even just like random closets in your house, since those clothing pieces that you can hang up are actually functional. So I'm excited to be able to try and incorporate closets within my houses now. Now, also another thing is that this furniture is inspired by Scandinavian furniture. I did mention this in my speed build, which if you guys want to go ahead and check that out, I'll link it down in the description alongside my Create a Sim video. But here's just me showing some swatches here and there. I didn't go through everything, but you kind of get the gist of what's going on here, and I love those painting swatches too, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm gonna go ahead and now move on to gameplay. Honestly, looking at my sim here kind of describes my feelings towards the gameplay portion of this pack. So just like any career, you go into your phone, you join the career, and this is a gig-based type of career. So similar to how the freelancer career works or the acting career, where you get a select few amount of gigs that you can choose from, but depending on your skill or your level in the career in this case, defines which ones you can and can't do. So the simple first one is the room renovation. Now it doesn't specify the exact room that you're gonna go renovate, which I'll get into in a little bit. So after you select your job, you of course have the gig task. So visit client's lot, get to know the client, take before and after photos, enter build mode, make the renovations, and then of course reveal the decorated space to the client. So one thing I will say that I'm bummed out about is before having to go to a job, I wish that it gave you kind of like 2 days to prepare. So maybe the first day being like you go and meet with the client, get to know them, find out everything, and then create like a mood board. Go to your drafting table, figure everything out, and then like plaster it on your mood board. Kind of like how the stylist career works, where you have like that board. But unfortunately in this pack, the drafting table isn't functional, the mood board isn't functional. You can't really research anything online. There's no books on interior designing, which I honestly wish that there was an interior designing skill so you could kind of build up your knowledge around interior design. There's nothing that you can practice. Like I wish they had like an option on like the drawing tablet where you could like sketch out different things for interior design, like sketch out how you want to plan the room out or something like that. It just didn't feel like there was much to it. So now moving on to the actual job part of it. So you get prompted with this message right before you go off to work. So now it's time to go ahead and meet with your client. In this case, I figured that my client was a child because she was the first one that like walked up to me, and that's what I thought it was going to be, is like one particular person from the household is going to be the client, but turns out like it's the entire household, which I'll get into later on as well. So I started talking to her and trying to figure out like her likes and dislikes. You also have a pie menu specifically for the interior designer, so you can ask about decor, seeing mood board, ask about favorite designs. And to find out their likes and dislikes, there are interactions in the friendly section where you can like ask like favorite color and other random favorite stuff, so you can kind of get a gist of how you're going to decorate the space. So again, initially I thought my client was the child, so I assumed I was gonna go ahead and renovate her room. She was giving me all her information, her likes, her dislikes, and everything like that. So after you do all that, you send the client away, and the first thing you do before you go ahead and start renovating is take before photos. Now, the thing I like about that is like you can kind of go ahead and arrange how you want to take them. Like you can be in the middle of the room or wherever you want, and you can move the camera around freely, which is really great. And once you're done with that, you're ready to go ahead and renovate, delete everything, and kind of start from scratch. So that's exactly what I did. And once I finished, I went ahead and took the after photos so that I can have them ready for the montage part. Now there is a cool little feature where you can actually go to the before photos that you took and click on them, and then click on go to location of photo. But unfortunately the spot that I took the photos in, it was not routable for my sim. So I ended up moving the stuff and then going and doing it. And then from there, you just go ahead and take the photos as you did for the before photos. And once you have all that done, you go ahead and call the client, and then you can go ahead and select the before and after photos for the reveal. So this is, again, your little montage that you'll be showing your sims when they arrive. I do really enjoy the fact that you have like this whole reveal, and then you have like things that you need to do, like show off the objects and chat with the clients, and then ask for the client's final verdicts, which I honestly wish it was just the verdict of the client that I was actually working with. So I wish it was the kids that really mattered and not me having to go around and ask everybody's final opinions, although opinions are good to have. So they end up going in and closing their eyes, which I really like. Here's the part that I didn't like, is they all walked into the kitchen, and I was like, this is not the room I renovated. I renovated the room upstairs, and then the montage starts playing. It's just like really awkward because like that's not the room I renovated. You feel me? I do really like the idea of the whole montage thing because it's kind of cool to see like the before and after work that you did. And not only that, everything gets saved onto the memory card that you're given when you start the career. Eventually, they all ended up making their way upstairs, and I feel like when I did check this out, it kind of helped the other sims also go up. So once I showed them everything, the sims then kind of look around and decide whether they like it or not. And once they're ready to give the verdict, they'll have a clipboard with a check mark on it, so then you can go ahead and ask them, and then you'll know. Also gonna call out, the handshake is really awkward. I don't know what the heck that was, but it's a thing. And then once all that's done, you get the verdict from everybody, the job is done. And then the cycle continues. You get a gig, you go to the job, renovate the place, come back home, get another gig. That's where I'm saying that I wish we had more things to do outside of the career. prepping, learning a skill, whether it's, you know, again, the designing portion or creating a mood board or going on, didn't they mention Simtrist or like kind of like Pinterest, but Simtrist, like collect like photos of inspiration for, you know, the client or whatever, and then show your mood board to them. And then on day 2, that's when you would like go in and actually do the renovations instead of it being something you do all in one day when you go to work. Like, yeah, the montage is cool and the reveal is cool if it worked properly. Like if the Sims always went to the room that you actually went ahead and renovated, that'd be awesome. It'd be nice if you'd be able to select the exact room before you have the Sims walk into the house so that they go to that room, or maybe if they like blocked off like all the other rooms and you specifically only were able to work on just that one room. So like if the kitchen was meant to be renovated, that's the only room you can touch. Then it would be less confusion for you and also the Sims, it seems like. So if it was like a house renovation, then it would make sense if you could renovate the entire house. After I recorded like 2 episodes of my mini LP that didn't happen, I was just like, I didn't really feel like going in and building anymore and just doing the same thing over and over again, because that's what it just becomes. It becomes extremely repetitive because there's nothing else really that you can do outside of work. Like with the acting gig, for example, you can practice acting, you can perform scenes, you can do many things to be able to get yourself ready for your gig. Here, it's nothing. Everything is within work, and I keep saying work, 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 but you know, you better work, bitch. No. Where am I going with this? So instead, what I wish they would have done is, if you guys know the game House Flipper, it's essentially like a home renovation game, and you pick a job from a client that you can go ahead and do. You get sent over to a house, and the houses are usually trashed. So you clean the house up and you renovate the rooms how the clients want them to be. I'm pretty sure from what I remember is the rooms require specific items, which I kind of wish that they did that. If you pick a room, you have specific items that you need to include, and then from there you can just do whatever you want, and as long as you stay within the budget. And I think that would have been a little bit better. And come to think of it, House Flipper also had an HGTV DLC where you kind of had like a world, and from there you could pick a house that you could go ahead and renovate. So they could have done the same thing and given us a world that is maybe completely trashed. All the houses are gross and like, you know, disgusting, and you go ahead and like fix it all up. And that would have been so much better, because that would make a little bit more sense than going into these pre-existing homes that, you know, I mean, a lot of them are really ugly. I mean, EA builds very rarely are good looking. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense that they gave us a pack like this to fix those ugly homes. So, I mean, I guess in that way, they're making us do the work, right? So to say the least, I'm pretty disappointed with the gameplay portion of this pack. Like at this point, it's hard to identify what's a game pack, because if you look at Paranormal Stuff Pack, that had more gameplay than this pack did. So I don't know, guys. I'm bummed for sure. Like, if I'm being honest, I would say the pack is worth it for the build buy items over gameplay. Like, I wouldn't even classify this as a gameplay pack. It's a stuff pack. It genuinely is just a stuff pack with a bunch of really cool items. So yeah, that is my review, I guess, guys. I'm sorry. I thought I was gonna really love this. It really did look a lot more exciting to me, but it just doesn't hit the mark for me. I love it as far as build stuff and cast, but primarily build. This is definitely a build pack. And yeah, also I wanted to quickly mention that there also is a new TV channel where you can actually like watch interior design stuff, but like you can't really do anything. It just, I think it gives you a focused or a inspired buff before you go to work, apparently, is what I learned from the stream. And I did go ahead and cheat and promote her to level 10 of the career, and you just unlock like new objects, new clothing, nothing that's like really functional. You get a laptop, and then also you finally, I think it was at like level 8, 9, or 10, somewhere there, you unlock the ability to write articles on interior design on the internet. So yeah, it takes a while to get even anything semi-remotely interactive there. So yeah, with that being said though, I'm gonna go ahead and go, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know what you guys think about this pack. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions, because you guys have just heard mine. So I'm gonna head out. Thank you guys again, and I'll talk to you guys in a new video very soon. Bye, guys.